Now that we know how to get pretty much all of the exotic catalysts for the Praxic blade, I wanted to put together a video showing you how to get all of them in a single run as a solo player. Obviously, this is one of the missions you have to do in the campaign, and most people are going to be trying to do this probably by themselves or with a buddy, and you're going to want to be able to do this as easily as possible in one run, getting all of this done. And I have a build and I have a guide to show you and walk you through how to get all this done with extra time to spare. This one is going to be on a warlock, which I think is the hardest to get done, but I will also be making one for a titan and a hunter if you ask for it or if you need it. For most of this run, you're going to just be running a prismatic warlock, running the exotic class item with Spirit of Endless Light and Spirit of Centoseps, pairing this with the Devourer fragment and the Lightning Surge fragment, and you're going to be running a super for Nova Bomb. For weapons, I take the same 3 weapons throughout the entire thing: the Praxic Blade Lightsaber, a solar SMG, I like Your Tide Apex, and then the new heavy sniper rifle, refurbished A499. This is going to be your big DPS weapon for any of the high value targets, especially the final boss, and pretty much the sword is going to be there for defensive and also for ad clear, so you have everything covered. And then stripping shields is really good, and also healing yourself with heal clip is really good with the Your Tide Apex. In the opening section, you want to go far right. You're going to see a taken knight you need to take out. I just used my heavy sniper, takes a couple shots burning down, and then you're going to move to the far left, and then you're going to see another like tunnel cave. Take out the other taken knight. You have to do those before you even move into the actual activity. Once you've done all that, you're going to proceed like normal. And then once you get cleared of all the enemies and go through the portal, you're going to shoot the 4 cruxes, and then you're going to wait to drop down until the timer pops up. Once it pops up, you're going to drop down, you're going to stop before you get to the bottom and land on this ledge right here. Personally, I like to do all this section with heat rises and just solar warlock, just easier for maneuvering, being able to do an Icarus dash or heat rises to save me, because every second counts. You want to get through all of these as quickly as you can so you can spend as much time in the boss room and in like the little big puzzle room before you gotta really rush. Following this path on the screen will take you to the very first one of the blights you have to take out. Just hug the wall, and then once you go down the end, just chuck your sword down there. That will knock out the first oddity of 7. Then you can move on to the next one. You'll know you've done them all once this message pops up in the bottom left right above your super. Once you do that, you are ready to go into the next area and work on the next puzzle before you get to the next fighting area. This is going to be the big one, honestly. This is the one that's going to take the longest. This one has the most juggling of mechanics and also ad clear. This is the one that you need to be able to do in a fairly decent time. That's why we wanted to get through all of the stuff up to this point as efficiently and as quickly as we can. Getting here as quickly as we can is important, because the quicker we get here, the more time we have to work through this entire room. So I'm going to walk you through how you do this mechanic, because this is a big one. If you've already done this, which I hope you have at least some experience doing this on the normal version, or at least the legendary campaign version, your job is to balance and also fill up both of the pretty much darks on each side of the room and both of the lights on each side of the room. You're going to see a taken enemy and a cabal enemy. Killing one gives you a light buff, killing the other gives you a dark buff. When you kill both, you're going to generate 4 orbs to drop that are going to correspond with that buff. So for example, if we kill a taken and then we kill a cabal, we're going to have opposites, and then we're going to drop dark, 4 darks. If we kill 2 cabal or 2 taken, they're going to drop all of the same one. So they're going to drop light, same. This is important to know. When you do this, in order to do this, you have to do a extra mechanic twice beforehand. So what we need to do is we need to get all of the blights, we'll just call them blights, all the blights around the room. We need to have all of them imbalanced at first. When you imbalance them, they will spawn a taken enemy. Each of them have to have a taken enemy spawn. We're going to kill that taken enemy, and then it's going to spawn a little taken blight on top of a pillar. With that taken blight pillar, we need to then kill it or destroy it with our lightsaber. That's why we got to keep this lightsaber with us. So here is how it's going to work. Once you plant down that rally, you're going to then move to either front left or front right. I call it L1 and R1. We're going to start R1 and we're going to kill all the enemies and get the first cabal buff. And then we're going to also go to the other side and kill the other taken in the front to get the opposite buff. So we're always going to do that. We want to deal with the opposites first by grabbing them, and then we're going to toss 3 of them into the same colored one. This is going to imbalance it and then spawn a taken enemy. That 4th nub we're going to toss to the other one. This we can go ahead and get that other one ready and primed. This is important because later on this is going to make our job significantly easier. Once we do that, we're going to then move our way back to the cabal side and get started on having another dark set of orbs dropped. Meanwhile, after we kill it, we're going to then take out that first taken knight, or take whatever it spawns, take out that taken knight first. And then we're going to take the orbs that we just dropped, and then we're going to toss them to the other one that we were filling up. We're going to go ahead and overcharge that one, and then we're going to fill it up and balance it, spawn the next taken enemy. With the leftovers, we're going to then throw it to the other one and get it slightly tilted, or heavily tilted, but no more than that. By this point, you got to kill the next taken enemy. Never forget to kill that taken enemy. And then you want to make sure you take out the blight that's in the air. Always take those out. You don't want to get messed up and forget what you're doing. This just keeps you doing things in order. Once you have done that, you don't want to touch the dark anymore. Those are ready to be filled normally. Now you want to start working on doubling up on each side and getting those white or those light, taken orbs dropping. So we're going to just focus on the taken side, get that buff twice, and then we're going to do the same thing on the bottom right. We're going to overcharge that and then toss the extra one to the back left or the top left or the L2, whatever you're going to call it. Overcharge the front ones first and then overcharge the back one second. It's a very simple system. It works. If you for some reason want to do it opposite, you can, but I think this is very easy because you want to stay closer to the front so you can see what everything is happening. And don't forget to constantly keep your buffs going. If you die, like even in this run, I died a few times trying to get a clean run for just YouTube and for footage. But because of us having so much time in the front end, and because of this process, we are already still in really good position to get this done in no time. Because we've already overtried, we're already on our third of those enemies. As you can see, it is no longer a taken enemy, it is a cabal enemy. Because of what we have charged, we're gonna take that over, and then we're gonna work on the last one. Once you see this text pop up after you kill the fourth warden or fourth taken or cabal, whichever one you do, then you know the big boss has spawned. This guy is really easy, he doesn't really move up, so what I prefer to do is go ahead and start prepping a lot of the other orbs and finishing up a lot of them except for two. So I'll generally go ahead and fill up like the darks, get those already full, and then start slowly working on the boss. He doesn't take a lot, but the heavy sniper does a really good job. It's safe, just hide behind one of the sections and just snipe away. If you have a super, feel free to burn a super on him, especially if it's like a 200 super or something like that. But I just always just sit in the back and just snipe him. And you're probably out of there in about 30 seconds. Once he's dead, then you're free to just go ahead and finish up like normal. Once you finish up normal, you're gonna instantly try to activate the little statue. Activate it twice, turn around, go ahead and jump back to the portal and be ready to leave as soon as you can. Right after the cutscene, you have one more puzzle to do before you can get to the final boss, and the final boss is puzzle. Once you get past the cutscene, you're gonna have to leave where we came from. Remember those two knights from the beginning of the mission? We're gonna go all the way back there because those two knights are gone and they've been replaced by taken blights. So we're gonna need to move back out there as fast as we can, and we're just going to go to those 2 points that we took out those taken knights. You'll see a blight there. Just toss your sword at it and turn around and run just to cut some time off. Take out that one to the other side, take that one out as well. Then you're going to go back to the portal and you're going to go to the final boss. 10 minutes. That's how much time you want to at the very least have if you're solo. In the boss room, getting into the boss room with at least 10 minutes should get you more than enough time to clear. But if you can get anywhere from like 10:50 to 11, if you're in a group, obviously this is not a big deal, but you want to get here as quickly as possible because there's a lot you got to do, and we all have understood so far that this boss is just the worst at times. He's going to be standing in certain locations and it's just going to be obviously where you need to be. He's going to be right there in front of you just shooting. If you've done this encounter, obviously you know what to do. There is a different thing that we have to do in this room, and that is we have 2 extra blights that are underneath the platforms that we have to fill up first. So we do the same that we always do the darks, but we have to do the lights first. If you do the darks first, he will become available to damage again, and those will not longer be able to be done. So when you get in here, you want to use your heavy, you want to use your prismatic, you want to use whatever you got to burn him through those first 3 phases as quickly as you can. You walk in, he teleports, you nuke him. When he teleports left, you go up there, you nuke him. Depending on where he is, you can just stand behind this rock or stand behind the left door and you can burn him, and then you move to the right and you stand in the bubble again, stand around the little rock and burn him a 3rd time. Sometimes I just rush him, taking advantage of Sentinel steps and using my prismatic skills as well. You want to burn him through those first phases as quickly as you can so he can get to that 4th phase. Getting him into the 4th phase with like 8 minutes is beautiful. Getting there was 6 minutes. It's beautiful. But you want to give yourself as much time extra as possible because you will probably die in this section because you have to get these extra orbs and you got to get really close to where the boss probably is going to be. I had a lot of issues getting clean footage of this because he just wanted to be the worst in this final section. Every time I tried to show where it was and get clean, deposits, he just was the worst. So you want to give yourself as much time as possible because you probably will die and you'll probably have to reset a few times in here. Clear out some ads for a little bit. Give yourself a little bit of wiggle room to do this right the first time before you start failing. All right, just like before, this is how you do it. Just like the last encounter, you're going to take out both of the big bosses on the same side of the room to drop white orbs. And then you're going to go to where I'm showing you on the screen and you're going to just deposit them. You want to be as quick as you can with this. They are very generous as well. If you just look down and just toss it, it's going to like suck in and count. So you just got to trust the process and grab each one. Don't forget to keep your devour up or keep your defenses up, but grab it and then go down to these 2 locations and you have to juggle it. Balance it just like you normally would. Balance this easily right now because the longer he's shooting, the worse he gets. So you want to do this first and then you want to obviously reset by hitting the crux and moving to the right side and taking out the taken. Do this early and you have no issues because after you've done left, fill it up, then right, then fully fill it up, then you are done with it. You can go back to doing a normal run of this encounter. Once you've done that, all you have to do is get back to normal, get the juggling done. You shouldn't be needing too many more because if you've done it correctly, you should have been doing it as you did it. But once you're done with whatever time you have left, you need to just cook. You have to take out the boss, but you also have to take out everything else in the room. So just because you take out the boss and you got 15 seconds left doesn't mean you're ready. That's why we wanted to stack as much time extra as we could on the front end. So in this room, we had as much room to mess up and play it safe. And once you take out the boss, even if you die, you just respawn and you can take out everything else. Once everything is dead, we are done. You'll spawn into the other area with the mission complete with a bunch of chests, and you're gonna just claim each one and watch all of the catalyst spawn in one go. I know it's a lot, but if you just take your time, learn the pathing and learn where everything is, you can get this done in no time, I guarantee. This is also, in my opinion, hardest on a warlock, whereas in the final room on a titan and a hunter, you can put up a wall, you can go invis, just a lot of other different tools to make dunking all of the white orbs significantly easier. But on a warlock, if you can do it on a warlock, you can do it on anyone, and if you can carry on a warlock, you can carry on anyone as well. If you really need it, I will make another guide for the Titan and for the Hunter. If you're still struggling with getting all this stuff, feel free to come by to Twitch channel as I will be doing helps for this all weekend. Hopefully this guide has helped you get all of your catalysts in no time done. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one.